Good morning, everyone. This morning, I'm talking to you about the medical and agricultural importance of airborne microorganisms. Microorganisms are carried by air, and that is what we have talked about in air microbiology. We've mentioned that microorganisms travel in the air, but they do not live in the air. So they said microorganisms in air are transient and variable. So a particular microorganism that is in the air, its presence is determined by the environment. It's determined by the water or by the air, and by the water or soil, or by human activities. So the type of microorganisms in the water, the types of microorganisms in the soil, type of microorganisms in the human beings, type of microorganisms on the floor, on the wall of any particular place will determine the type of microorganisms that will be found in the air, because it is from these surfaces that the microorganisms can be transported into the air. And when they are transported, after some time, they move and then they settle down. Now, medically and in agriculture, what are the importance of airborne microorganisms? Now, I'm going to start with that of the medical setting. How important are microorganisms in medicine or in medical settings like hospital, like where a sick person is? Now, let me clear your doubt on this. When we talk about importance, when we say importance of airborne microorganisms, what we are trying to say is that how is these microorganisms, how are they useful or how are they useless? That is what we mean by importance. When we say importance of airborne microorganisms, what we're saying is, are they useful? How are they useful? What we're saying is that, are they useless? How are they useless? Do they benefit us? How do they benefit us? That is an importance. Do they cause us harm? How do they cause us harm? That is also an importance. Does the microorganisms and their activities make us to have money in our pocket? How do they do that? That is importance. Do they make us to lose money? How do they make us to lose money? That also is an importance. So I am going to take first how microorganisms are important in medicine. Now, medically, airborne microbes serve principally as agents of disease transmission. So they carry disease from one plant or from one animal to another, or from animal to plant, or from plant to animal, even from humans to plants, and from plants to humans. And they also carry disease and infection from animals to man, and from man to animals. Depending on the activities going on in the area, such as sweeping, bed making, and other activities that raise dust, they may carry pathogenic spores and vegetative cells. These spores and vegetative cells cause eye irritation. They also cause sneezing. They can also cause coughing, and they can cause respiratory tract disease when they come in contact, especially with individuals whose immune system has been compromised. Factors that cause individuals' immune system to be compromised include infancy, old age, disease, and sickness. Some of the diseases transmitted by airborne microbes: tuberculosis, influenza, chickenpox, valley fever, and severe acute respiratory syndrome. And recently, COVID-19 has been known also to be carried by air, and by air, and then is an airborne microbes. It's a respiratory tract infection that is carried by air. So if somebody sneezes or even talk, the microbe can be aerosolized, be carried in the air, and can be inhaled by another person who is close by. Now, How important is airborne microorganisms in agriculture, in agricultural settings? Airborne microorganisms serve as agents of disease in farm animals. This occurs when the airborne microbes are inhaled into the lungs, ingested into the gastrointestinal tract. Some diseased farm animals release pathogens which are later airborne to others through coughing and sneezing, and some dust-raising activities which raise the pathogens deposited on the floor. Plant diseases also result through the activities of airborne microbes. Microbes, when airborne, can transmit spores or vegetative cells, fungi and bacteria to plants. Fungal spores are more implicated in this aspect of disease transmission. Fungal spores, I take it again, fungal spores are more implicated in this aspect of disease transmission. Reason is because the fungal spores can remain for long, and most molds, most fungal molds form spores, and they form different types of spores which can remain dormant when condition is not favorable. When conditions become favorable, they begin to grow and they cause disease. The number of bacteria that have spores are limited. The number of viruses that have spores are limited or non-existent. And the same for other microorganisms. But fungal spores are many. And in this spore stage, they can remain dormant, and until condition is favorable, they can remain dormant and be carried without the person carrying it knowing is carrying fungal spores that can cause disease, and then deposited somewhere else, and then they find their way into living organisms and then begin to grow and cause disease. How then do we arrest the negative effect of airborne microorganisms? How do we check it in any place? The negative effect of airborne microorganisms can be checked in the following ways. Proper sanitation and disinfection in various health facilities will reduce or eliminate airborne pathogens. Another thing we should do is to reduction of activities that may raise dust in medical settings. This will help to mitigate the number of microbes that will be airborne. Then the use of ultraviolet light to disinfect and or sterilize healthcare facilities where it is possible. Then the use of nose masks to cover the nose and mouth in medical facilities will also help to reduce inhalation of airborne microbes. Now, you see, during the COVID, you want to get into a bank, they tell you that no, you must wear your mask. You want to get into a hospital, they turn you back and tell you to go and wear your mask. You want to get into some key offices in different places, you are turned back to go and wear your mask. Now, this is because the wearing of the mask will protect the person that does not have the virus from contracting it in the public. It will also prevent the person that has it from disseminating the virus to other people. So the use of nose masks to cover the nose and mouth in medical facilities will also help to reduce inhalation of airborne microbes. Another way of checking the negative effect of airborne pathogens is to check and ascertain the health status of individuals entering the country per time. Public enlightenment will also help to make individuals to be careful when they enter any health facility. Remember in the case of Ebola, that individual that was coming from Liberia or from where, and he came into Nigeria and he had the symptom and he went to a hospital on Lagos Island. That doctor, Adadevo, she arrested him when she saw he had the symptom, even though she also later died. But this arrest by this doctor should have been done at the border, should have been done at the entry point, where they will have checked his temperature and seen that it's not healthy. And since there's this pandemic or epidemic of Ebola at that time, they should have quarantined him at the border without allowing him to come into the country to spread the Ebola. Now, this is how to prevent the negative effect of airborne microbes in medical settings. There are many more which I want you to add in the comment section below, and also to find out also. In terms of agricultural effects, airborne microbes can be put at bay by using the following measures. The sources of animals and plants entering the farm must be ascertained. You can't just bring animal from anywhere and plant from anywhere and take it to your farm. You want to know which farm is it coming from. The track record of that farm for providing or producing plants and animals for others. Then, suspected animals and plants should be quarantined to prevent contacts with other farm animals and plants. People should be restricted from reaching farm animals and plants. Don't say somebody is your friend and he comes to your farm and the individual is coughing like I am coughing now because I have a cold today. And I've been trying to take some hot drink and to sniff hot water so that and to take some rest. I think I'll also not rest very well, so it's affecting me a bit. And you can see in the midst of the mild fever, I'm still preparing this lecture because I want it to reach you. I don't want it to be just like that without a shepherd. So people should be restricted from reaching farm animals and plants. Whoever it is, your friends, they come to your farm, let them stay at the reception. They should not go into the farm to go and see the animals if they are not vet doctors. If they are not vet doctors, because you don't know what they are carrying, and they'll come in, they'll touch the animal, they'll come in with their clothes and others. This is necessary to prevent exhalation from people. There should also be entry and clothing requirements for people entering the farms. You should have clothing requirements whereby you ask people that coming to your farm, if you have to allow them in, ask them to wear a particular cloth, a particular overall, which has been disinfected. So that overall is going to cover their own clothes. Ask them to dip their shoe or their slippers in a disinfectant before they go in. Ask them to put up their shoe and to wear a shoe provided by the farm before they go in. All these are going to help to prevent the negative effects in agricultural setting of airborne microorganisms. This is all for now. I am going to talk to you some other time. I want to read more, and if you have any question, drop your question and your comment in the comment section below. I'm going to talk to you some other time. Bye for now.